You know filmmaker, actor, and author Justin Baldoni from Jane the Virgin, but his books has been making quite a splash. His latest is called Boys Will Be Human, in stores now. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
So, what was it in your life that said enough is enough? I want to write, I want to write this book, especially for young guys, to change the narrative.
It wasn't just one thing. I think it was a lot of little things. After my last book, Man Enough, which came out last year, which was a really cathartic process for me, I realized that a lot of what I had to heal happened to me around middle school and high school. And it was one thing to reach men as adults after we had already kind of put on all of our armor. But I thought, what if we could reach men before they became men? What if we could reach boys before we put on all of our armor that stops us not just from connecting with other people, but from ourselves? And that's when we decided to write the book. So here we
Because
are.
age 11 is, you are getting crushes, you are getting out of middle school, you're getting ready for high school, you might be excelling in a sport, things may be cool or not cool. I mean, it's a big time that
Your
also
body's
defines
changing,
your teens and older.
puberty's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, lots of stuff is happening in middle school. I don't know anybody that had a good time in middle school. Uh, Generally, it was pretty much a terrible experience for most people. But that's because we feel so alone during one of the craziest times of our life. I mean, for young boys, our bodies are changing. Testosterone is filling our system. We're starting to be attracted to other people. We're introduced to, especially now, thanks to cell phones, to things like porn and sex. We have all these questions. The boys are getting erections all the time. We don't know what we're doing. We're like changing and changing, and we have no one to talk to about it. Well, at the same time, boys are starting to get mean, and we're starting to bully, and we're starting to be exposed for being sensitive, and we have to start repressing all of these feelings in order for self-preservation. And then that carries with us our entire lives.
You talk about, being brave and smart and cool and confident and strong, and how those are all human traits, not necessarily, men traits. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think that the narrow definition of what it means to be a man, at least in America, um, doesn't allow their room to experience the full gamut of human emotions and traits, honestly. I mean, there are masculine women and there are feminine men, but does that mean that the women are men and the men are women? No. But we police our boys into being men by calling them girls or women, which is the worst thing we could ever call a young boy if he exhibits any of those traits. So it's really important that we broaden the definition. And the other thing is that nobody can take away your manhood. What I try to tell young boys in this book is if they are boys, they are boys. Nobody can take that away from you. No bully can take that away from you. No adult man can take that away from you. And also, being called a girl is just a really weak insult, because girls are amazing and we have to start teaching our boys to respect and love girls. So embracing all of the parts of ourselves that maybe look like them, our empathy, our kindness, our sensitivity, our softness. Well, these things make us men too. We need those things to be in any kind of relationship over the course of our lives. I can tell you right now that in my marriage, and I have an amazing marriage to an amazing, badass, strong, powerful woman, if I only showed up with all of the masculine qualities, the parts of me that the schoolboys told me I had to be, or that I would make made fun of if I wasn't, she would divorce me in a second. It's my empathy and sensitivity and compassion and kindness that are why she stays. And I can have my masculine qualities, but not at the expense of my feminine ones. And so what I'm trying to say is, let's throw all that out. Let's allow men to be men. But let's also allow men to embrace all of the parts of them that make them human.
Maybe a message for some of those young kids who may feel that they're not as cool, or maybe not as masculine, or maybe not as smart, or maybe, I was not as smooth as some of the other classmates. A message that you would like to hear sent out to them.
Well, the first thing I would say is, if I were to take everybody in your class, have them close their eyes, and I ask them one question, which is, who here feels like they don't fit in? Every single person, even the cool kids, would raise their hand. It's one of the exercises in the book. And what you'd find is that if everybody feels like they don't fit in, then who actually fits in, and what are we trying to fit into? We are constantly comparing ourselves to other people, to the highlight reel of people's lives. So what I would say is that you don't have to try to be tough. You don't have to try to be a man. You already are. Simply by existing, you are masculine. You are enough. Nobody can take that away from you.
That is a wonderful message, especially for young boys to be able to, to hear that from you and from their peers, but also, we want their parents to read the book and to share that same mentality with them, because they can't, achieve that
Please read it.
exactly without the help of their educators and family around them. Justin, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Boys Will Be Human in stores now.